Hi everybody, Matthew from Disaster Area doing a quick demonstration of the new DPC-5 firmware update. We're now on version 1.15b. 1.15b introduces some useful new features. Some of the things that we've introduced are momentary control for the TRS amp control jack. This lets you control pedals like our Bogner Blue, the TC Electronic Stereo Chorus Flanger, and anything else that requires a momentary or pulsed input for its control jack. The other big change is that we've changed the MIDI mode so that now instead of having just one or two MIDI devices available, you can actually control 4 devices. Our pedal board here consists of a row of MIDI devices from left to right: the Eventide H9, the Strymon BigSky, the Strymon Timeline, and the Strymon Mobius. And we've got them set up so that we can go through each device and change presets. We can bypass and engage the devices. We can tap tempo to them. And we can even do neat stuff like use some of the performance features, such as the infinite hold, repeat, and freeze functionality that's available on the BigSky and the Timeline. We've got full control of all of those devices, and to save a preset we actually step through each device individually. So blue is the Timeline, red is the Mobius, orange is the BigSky, which we've set up already, and green is the H9. Once we have the sound we want, we press and hold the first button. This enters the save dialog. When the upper button is flashing, that indicates the bank where we'll save. We have the option to save in the red, the green, the blue, or the white bypass bank. If we save in the red bank, we push and hold any of the select buttons to save in that location. And now when we return to the red bank, we'll be able to recall a preset. And bypass everything. It's just that easy. So everything else works the same as it has in previous firmware revisions. We've cleaned up some of the bugs that users have found, including the folder update code so that the correct LEDs are on in the right folders. The other big change is the addition of the momentary TRS settings. Some pedals need a latching signal to engage. These are pedals like the Strymons with their favorites, the DD20, things like that. But there are some pedals that require a momentary or pulse input. The Bogner Ecstasy series, the Ecstasy Blue and Red, and the Uberschall, and the TC Electronic Stereo Chorus Flanger. These require a pulse or momentary input. So there's a config option, and it's detailed in the quick start guide and the manual, that lets you send pulses instead of latching signals to them. Once you've set up the device the right way, the rest is actually pretty easy. You go to the manual mode, the loop edit mode, and you simply tap the mode button until you get the right sound. So bypass, off, and boost, both or neither. So we can set up just having the ecstasy on, and we can save that on the location where we used before, which is red 1. So now when we go to red 1, and we turn it on, we get our patches on all our MIDI devices, and the ecstasy turns on. So that's it. The new DPC-5 firmware adds in the ability to fully map and control 4 MIDI devices, and also adds in the Momentary TRS control for pedals like the Ecstasy Blue and Red, Uberschall, TC, Electronic Stereo, Quartz, Flanger. This essentially lets you control one more pedal without using a loop. The board we've got here is actually controlling 6 analog pedals. The Radiac meter, the Ecstasy Blue, the Tinny, the Disaster Booster, the Voyager, and the Micropog. They're all being run through the loops except the Ecstasy, which is being run using the remote input. So if you've got any comments or questions, please post them below. This firmware is available now on our website. It's a free download, and it's also installed by default on all factory new DPC-5 pedals. Thanks for watching.